Hi there, YouTube friends. Welcome to my channel again for another video about planning your November goals. And this is a big one because the holidays are coming, and what a better time to really talk about this, dissect it, and get tips on the best methods for getting goals set in a way that you execute and you're excited to actually accomplish. So if this interests you, then stick around. Okay, well, I'm a mom of 8, and let me tell you something. I've created these planners and a method, a system, if you will, to help me. I created it for me to help me not only be organized in the home, but to be organized with my own personal goals. So I think my biggest what I love to inspire women to do is to be able to not only be organized in the home, but to take it a step further and to identify who they are outside of being mom and to be able to pursue themselves as well. And you can do it right alongside motherhood. I know that's what I have done, and it was a game changer for me. Once I understood that I didn't have to shelve myself until they were all grown, then it changed for me. It elevated my motherhood. Everything just changed. So I am just on a mission to share with other women the importance of remembering themselves, to hone their skills, to know who they are, and to have a wonderful time in their lives, and using their planners as tools that help them, that aid them, that work for them, that is set up in a way that is able to inspire them by their own words. So I really like to teach women to be visionaries for their lives, and that takes practice, because a lot of times we get really swept up in feeling like we don't know anything, and so we need to have someone tell us how to plan our lives and give us the proper prompts, or we're just going to fail at this. Well, I beg to differ. Women need to be able. We're all so different. We all have different seasons we're in. We have different things we're going to execute from month to month to month. We even can change what could be wonderful, great, good habits one month and swap them out for something different that works better the next month. So there is no one size fits all type of planner that you can have prompts written in it, because it changes too much. And I know this firsthand. So what may have worked for me to be able to do the laundry and the dishes out and to fold some laundry before children wake up might have worked for me a couple months ago. Then I decided I was going to delegate that out. And so now I'm free to do a different thing in order to be organized. So as you can see, there's just different things that change all the time, and you need that free form tool such as your planner to be able to be your aid, to be there to set you up for the best possible outcome. So it's not so much the planner's there to inspire you to write your best version of your life down on paper. So this takes practice, and it needs to be done every day. If you're not a part of my communities over on Planner Perfect everywhere, especially Facebook, be sure to join me, especially even IG. There's stories that I do and different things to inspire women to be, to plan and write their best life and to write a better story. So let's just dive into certain goals, tips that I have for you when embarking on setting goals. Now, a lot of times, maybe women will set up just like a list of things they want to accomplish and then stop it right there. Well, that's not going far enough, because when you write down goals or things that you want to accomplish in a certain given month, then you need to really know your why, and you need to give it more detail, and you need to really just expound on the goal enough where your mind is taking hold of it. Your subconscious mind is getting the gist that you want to execute this goal. Number 2, you're going to want to really make sure that your words don't contradict what you just wrote. So, for example, if you really want to rise early, this is your new goal, and you want to get up and you want to meditate. Well, if parts of your days are thinking about how you dread it and you don't want to, and then you speak to other people about how you're just not good at it, then you're sabotaging your efforts, because your mind listens, and we are our thoughts, and our thoughts become things. So we want to make sure that we clear up those thought patterns and we speak truth into our lives so that we can be internally motivated to pursue our goals, because that's how we're wired, to be able to be internally motivated. We don't need to go, well, I better go listen to this motivational speech before I can get pumped up. We should really be motivated from within for our own goals. And so one way of doing that is just always speaking truth and positive affirmations to ourselves. And and being easy on ourselves. Like, hey, I didn't get going on that one for that meditation, but I'm going to for sure do it tomorrow morning. Or how about I just break for it right now and go try to sit for just a couple minutes and practice meditation in a way that I can calm my mind and my thoughts. So it's just a matter of just easing yourself back into what you had set for goals until you get it. So there is no failure at this. It is a process and it is a journey, but a worthwhile one at that, because you want to become a visionary. So when you're looking at your life as a whole, which is what you do with my method, is because it's broken down into 1 month at a time, then you're going to look at it and you're going to say, hey, what do I want to do for Thanksgiving? What do I want to do? Are we going to put up our tree? What day are we going to do that? I always throw a trim the tree party. So when you become a visionary and you start thinking about things, then your mind and your imagination begins to really gain momentum to give you ideas of some really fun things you can do, rather than just living life, focusing on a day-to-day thing. And then by the time it hits you, it's just too late. It just seems like you snap your fingers and the holiday's done. So this is a real crucial time. I find every time is a crucial time. There's always just something amazing you can create and pull into your life. It takes a vision first, and then it's created. So you need to take the time to meditate and get that envisioning and that imagining going. And meditation first is perfect because you still the mind. And when you still the mind, you can get rid of negative thought and all that clutter and that chatter. And when you're able to just still the mind, you're able to tell your mind who's boss. And it's a great practice to say, you're not going to control me with all these fleeting thoughts, with majority of them being repetitive and negative. So this is just really powerful so that you can take control back of your thought patterns. And you might think I'm off topic here, but it's so crucial to understand and know this when planning your life and writing a better story for your life. This is just as important as writing down your vision. Besides, and as well, I usually can get my greatest ideas from the moments of a stilled mind. I really always call it a God download. Like, I literally get so many ideas that I want to pursue. So knowing these kind of details for mapping out your month are crucial in its execution. Another thing to remember is that when you're done writing all of these goals that took you some time and some effort to write down, you're going to make sure that you daily are going through these goals. You put a lot of effort in those details. You know your why. You're watching your mouth and what you're thinking and what you're speaking. So you got some momentum there. But now when you're writing out your days, it's perfect because now you know exactly what you want to accomplish in certain elements of your whole month as a whole. So now start pulling from it. Say, hey, this is the perfect time for me to make the Thanksgiving, pumpkin cake and freeze it so that I am not as stressed on Thanksgiving morning. It's just all of these different things that now you are ahead of the game. You have a whole pages full of intentions, and now it's time to execute them. And it's just as simple as pulling all those wonderful thoughts down, and now it's time to execute them. And you just put them into the right days. I always call it sprinkling in your days. Sprinkle them in the days that work. So when you find that you've got a pocket of time, you're like, listen, this is when I'm going to read that book I said I was going to listen to. This is when I said I'm going to write those 2 pages of a new book I'm going to write. But better yet, if you're doing something that is pursuing you, I would start moving those into a habit, and so that it's something you do every day. That'll be for another video. But those goals should be looked at daily and then put in the proper places in your days and sprinkle them in your days. And that is how you execute these well thought out plans and goals. What do you do if something doesn't get accomplished that month? Well, you simply pull them over to the other month, or you identify whether or not that goal was worth pursuing. So this journey is an amazing one. It's self-exploration. It is of really finding out what you want and what you desire and what you want to pull into your life. Not what life throws at you, but what do you want to pull into your life and what do you want to execute? And knowing your whys, knowing your goals allows you to be a woman who knows when to say no if it doesn't coincide and jive with her game plan. So that's how you can stay organized. You're a woman now who can get dinner on the table that looks effortless. You have holidays and host holidays when most women might think that's impossible. With how many children you have or whatever. It is all possible. It just takes a plan and it takes a vision and it takes living an intent life, because when you do that, you know what to say no to, so that what you do say yes to, you have 100% of your effort and your time invested. And that's, of course, what we want. We don't want to just do things, half-heartedly with a bunch of little things we're trying to tackle and nothing gets done. I say no to a lot of things so that what I do is 100%. So I'm going to turn you around now and show you my November goals to inspire you to create your own November goals. And if you are interested more in my planners for purchase and more about my method, I have tons of video here. I do encourage you to join me over on Facebook and IG, and my website is designsbyplannerperfect.com, and I will link you down below. So let's get started. Okay, here we are. Let's get started. This is my Traveler's Notebook, and it's actually my new brand's Traveler's Notebook, and we're going to be offering these in our store. Our goal is before Christmas, so be looking out for it. So let's just dive right in and go into my November goals that I have set. So my September, here's my beautiful October. What an amazing month. And then here is my November. This is our November planners. My artwork is all on the covers, and I really hope you loved November's. If you haven't gotten it, it's in our store. And the December one is going to be gorgeous as well, and I can't wait to dive in and plan over that too. So when you open this up, you've got a beautiful dashboard to greet you, and then your calendar where you can write down your important dates. These are our stickers, and having those in there is very fun. Now what I've done differently, and this is fun because when you've got pages to work in, you can develop it and change it on what best works for you, on how you want to do it. So I'm going to share with you tips that are working for me. And this one in particular is really great because what I'm doing right here is because it gives me a first page overview. So what I did with this one is almost like a table of contents. And so I wrote down everything that I wanted to execute, and then I went into detail on the subsequent pages. So this really worked for me, and I think I might be doing this every single month. So awesome. So here's where I put them all down, from me to the family and the holidays and everything in between. So let's go ahead and get started. So like here's one where it was some goals for my business. So I began, and I still have more that I want to touch on in there. Here's some more where I am creating a cookbook. And so those are just some goals that I really put down on paper with full detail. So I pulled from here and I'm putting over into here, but with detail now. So it's just really great. Here's another course I'm creating. So I'm just now really, I don't want to put things on here that I'm not really sure about. So I'm taking time to really think about it. And then once I know more, then I put it in with full detail. Our Traveler's Notebook launch and website launch is going on this month into next month. And so I'm really writing down the details on that launch. And here is just some fun ones, such as bread I'm making, a sourdough starter I made, jelly I'm making, my health, and I'm a vegan, so whole food, plant-based. And so just writing down some things I want to make sure that I do. I added some paper to it because I had more goals even. So I added this fun little piece of cardstock in here and washi it in and wrote even more about my Thanksgiving. I needed more room to write down Thanksgiving. So those were the goals. And then what I did was just add more piece of paper in here and wrote more. And then I added one of our tip-ins in here as just kind of a cute way to add something pretty, just a pretty element. So from the table to what I wanted on the table to what people are going to be bringing and the menu. And we're having actually 2 different Thanksgivings, so that's why I needed the extra paper for the other side of the family. So just really had a good time writing all that down. I'm hosting one and I'm not hosting another. So I did write down what I wanted to make. And when you think in advance, you can really get creative and really think about what you're capable of doing and if you really think you can and if you really want to. So make sure that you do put something down that you know you're capable of doing. I mean, and don't say you're going to bring half the dinner to the party when you got a bunch of babies. It's one of those kind of things that you really got to know what you can do. Yet more things are available to you when you are planned and you make the time and you live a life of intent. That's for sure. But just make sure that you know that you are capable of executing it this way. So I know that I can bring a big, huge relish tray and make my own hummus and bring this dessert, and I know which kind of dessert, and I know I'm perfectly capable of it and can do it, and I know exactly when I'm going to even be able to do it. So I really broke that down. Now this one I wanted to kind of show you. I'm in the middle of drawing it and planning it. So we always have a trim the tree party, and what that is we put our tree up the Sunday before Thanksgiving. So here's Thanksgiving, so put up our Christmas tree, and then on the day after Thanksgiving we have the trim the tree party. So we put our tree up and it's just lit. There's no ornaments. And then on the day after we trim the tree and we just do the whole works. We have usually like just a smorgasbord of just fun finger foods, so relish trays and little treats like truffles, my kids' favorites. And so I was kind of sketching all this in first, and dinner would be roasted chicken with potatoes. I'm just really thinking all this through. I'm going to come back in and paint this in because it'll be pretty. And we love to just do cocoa Christmas music and do it. It's been a tradition that we've been doing, and it's a lot of fun. I even added here as a way to add some more things. I do homeschool my kids, and I have a ton of them. So I love to create different things I want to do over Thanksgiving, just this month, obviously, and movies we want to go see. The Nutcracker's out, The Grinch is out, Wreck-It Ralph is out. There's a Christmas tree lighting, and what we want to do after the Christmas tree lighting. So it's like once you know you want to go to an event, to be able to just gain momentum and get any more ideas off of that is just gold. So it's like, okay, let's go and watch the tree lighting, and then, oh, I know, let's all get the family together and go out to eat after that at those really great restaurants out there, and oh, let's go and walk around and do this. And it's just one of those things that I just love doing. You just kind of dream in your planner and you make magic happen. So here is just some more business for me that I was planning and wrote it all out. Added another piece of paper to add even more a schedule and a rotation for my social media and what I want to do every day to make sure things get done. So on a Sundays I do this, on Saturdays I do video, stuff like that. So I wrote a schedule out for myself and I put it in. So then when it comes to your days, you will pull from one of those goals and you will sprinkle it into which day it works. If finishing up my apple jelly works over here, then I'll do it. If, the date that I'm going to make my pie or my cake for Thanksgiving works over here, then this is when I'll do it. When the movie works, so that I'm gonna go see the movie with my kids, then I'll put it in that day. It's just a matter of orchestrating and going over these beautifully laid out goals that you have for yourself, going over them every single day and sprinkling them in your days. I have been very successful in not only setting goals, because that's just one element to it, am I right? And also in their execution. And so if I'm a mom of 8 and can be a entrepreneur, then you girls can too, and I encourage you to do the same. This is just some tips and inspiration on how I do mine. And so I'd love to know more about how you set goals, how you can implement, what key takeaways you have that you took away from this video that can help you set your goals and your dreams and to execute them. Thanks for watching, and I hope this has inspired you to dream big and to plan amazing goals for your life and write a better story. Bye, you guys.